Greetings, my friends. This is Maerlande. The game Lernean Hydra has progressed along quite satisfactorily. So I'm going to do a couple turns here. 7. And probably 8. So let's have a look at turn 7. So pretty basic stuff, a couple of expansions. We're also watching some action for Patala. Let's have a look, see what Patala's doing. So pretty basic, he's using Naga warriors. Curious to see if we can tag his bless. Pretty sure I tagged his bless in the archive. So he's got a bait squad, a couple of bait squads up front. Arcata archers, we'll soak some lances. Chief Batavi, those are probably remnants of his start army. The back, he's got some light bandars, the sticks and stones. So do we have the bless here? Here it is. Let's have a look. Reinvigoration and blood surge. Okay, so I am guessing, and I know we confirm it later, but we kind of anticipated that he was using the Devi of Darkness, using earth and blood magic. And we suspect quite likely he took it away for expansion purposes. So speed this up, turn on the alternates. So the lances are using up the knights are, oh, you got a nice bit of paralyzed there. That might have been the hypnotize coming from the Nagas, which is a useful little bit of extra something. Actually, he's tossing in some word of stone. No, that would have been a petrify. That's a stun. So stun is from the hypnotize. The heavy cavalry are done. That was pretty easy. Then the light bandars come in and do their work. They're not penetrating. Are these? They're fairly heavily armored crossbows. So the light bandars are doing some chip damage. You should see the poison spits. Although the poison spits have a bit of an issue with not very good precision. But there we go. Got some poison. Those guys should run any moment now. So I'm suspecting his script with the Nagas was just an empty script. No orders. Because they did advance within range. So, well done. Now for our part, so 9 vans, it's a little on the heavy side, but we actually had to deal with heavy cavalry. So we didn't want to take too much risk there. And our script bless, a couple of blesses, sir, a couple of blesses, pretty much all the vans are done. Heavy cavalry get cleaned out quite quickly. And go into the back, there's the withering weapons worked. Didn't critically matter. You could see it there briefly, the change of color. And there was another withering weapons. And here's one. Here's an example. You've got the decaying, which is more a case of a solid way to deal with tougher things. Here in Golphalis, using a little bit smaller group of vans. How does this go? Quite well, I believe. We did lose one, but it might also have been crippled, obviously. We did notice the vans, you know, the glamour of the vans tends to fade fairly easily if they're shot a great deal. That was, say, just a little bit of bad luck getting one of the vans. Okay, so let's look at the map. So we have expanded reasonably well, putting some pressure to our west. Not much we could do over here to the east for the time being. We'll grab this one eventually. Did do negotiations of some borders with Argocephali so that we came to agreements. He had the shipwreckers. We look at the shipwreckers, like they're pretty beat up. About 8 left. Start with quite a few more than that. That's adequate. Back at home, grabbing some Volvas so that we can maximize our vans. Still using Van Herses. Switching to Van Jarls fairly soon. Want to be starting to look at options like getting ourselves a port going quite quickly. And you can see we're expanding down here. Other expansion army is going to meet up with fresh troops from the capital. So we've got a solid expansion group. Because we did notice that because we're not using a really heavy blast, we can pop back to our blast. Sort of a general purpose blast. Rainbowish, but not as strong as sort of a hell blast. So I think that kind of covers turn 7. Our neighbors are Calum, relatively peaceful agreements. We settled the border. Arcocephali, we settled the border. And we have not talked to Patala at this point in time. So I'm going to move on and do turn 8. Not going to do turn 11 because it's getting a little bit too close to the live game. In turn 8, we got our construction research. So we've got construction 2, that gives us some options. Going up for large aerial elementals as a defense against rush. And you can see we're going to then after that go for Mistform. Expansions, that one went quite well. Let's have a watch. I don't think there's too much to see. So a single Van Hurst does struggle a little bit getting them all blessed. So you need a couple of casts. And let's just confirm his script here. Beat this up, turn on the counters. I think just about everybody got blessed. Check, looks like they did. Oh, I missed one. That might be why the odd one is getting killed. This 2. It's that one. And you'll notice we went larger. So we've got a little lower attack density. It's another reason we need to have a little bit bigger Vanheim parties. We're going to throw their javelins. Some decent success there. Even the javelins can get a withering weapon off. Not too shabby. So if we look at this guy, he's not going to die of the decay. But that, even that little bit does help. Okay, so that was clean. This one. We lost 1. It was a fairly good sized stack of opponents. Quick watch of the battle. So, script is a little bit different, I believe, but we'll check that. Actually, before we go to this, just go to that province. Take a look at the scripts. So there we go. 2 blesses, an air shield, a hold, and an attack rear. And one of the things we don't really want to do is have the Van Hursts get killed. So we're pulling this one Van Hurst back. There's nowhere else to go here to the west, so we've got to pull back to the rest of our capital circle. Make a shot for this one. Actually, I apologize. Now I see. We're actually going to suicide our prophet so that we can profit a Van Jarl. Or a Van. Probably a Van Jarl. Yeah. So we'll go for that once we get the chance. And now let's just check the script on that guy. Yeah, so we're going to suicide him quite deliberately. We need 6 months till we can get the next profit. And we don't need a profit at the moment. So expansion slows a little bit for the next turn. We're watching this fight. Here they come on the run. Looks like we're going to get everybody blessed this time. Chop, chop, chop. Chop, chop, chop. Yeah, solid. Blood bond is activated. Blood surge. Apologies. Blood surge, not blood bond. And the commanders are running. And that's that. Okay. So, beyond that, back at home, grabbing some Galderman, maxing out our vans, saving a bit of gold, got some scouts, lucked out, got some scouts from dependent provinces, so we're buying those. Big fan of lots of scouting. On for 6 province defense pretty much everywhere. Just confirm 6666, yeah, the magic number. If you want a discussion of why that's a useful number, I've talked about that many times, and there's a good discussion about sort of the target points for province defense on Wiki. Back home here, we'll check the research. Left it the same as last turn. It's going to be a fairly short episode. Just going to have a quick check where we are in this game. It'd be worth another episode. Current episode is turn 41. I am going to do turn 11. Yes, because that keeps me 30 turns behind. So let's take a look at turn 11. Is there anything else in the messages? See anything? Some battles? Ah, what's Kayla music? Oh, just pretty basic stuff. Large piles of players. And it's effective when you have enough. I'm curious about his script. Okay, so he's got quite a few squads. And has he got any sacreds here? Nope, sacreds. Spirehorns. Spirehorns and Jar Raptorian warriors. They're even cheaper. Done some Sermon of Courage. There we go. Multiple squads. Where are they going? Some hopefully are attack closest. They are. That was good. Or possibly with no orders. Wiped out the back line. If they can get the commanders, this fight is over. So he ran a bit of a risk getting his profit here hit, but it went well. Went quite well. Now, what else will we see? Oh, okay. So we got a probe by Arcus Valley on the throne here. And we had a few gems show up. Okay, let's do turn 11. We got the time. 12 minutes. Alrighty. So I didn't record archive turns 9 and turns 10. We have to jump to 11. You can see we've cleared up over here. Started a fort. Got our first Van Jarl. Have a look. We shouldn't have a profit yet. No, we don't. We're getting a profit. For recruitment, so that we can keep Vans going, we're alternating a sacred with a non-sacred. And it depends on gold. We'll want to move somebody here to build a lab. So you can see, started searching. The Galderman with good cross pass. Those are useful. Went back to collect more Vans. Scouting all throughout Patala. So having sort of, and at this point in time we met Bogarus. We've negotiated a border with Bogarus, which we do eventually fill out, but expansion's over. So now we have a choice of either picking a fight or sitting around and turtling. Well, I didn't feel like turtling with an elf nation, and I don't believe Vince and Art felt like turtling with an elf nation either. So you can see a number of maneuvers to bring decent sized formations into position where they can deal something. Now we did luck out. Actually got Hoburgs with the Horticulturist. So we're doing a lap here, you can see. So we could buy Horticulturist. We're buying a few crossbows kind of wherever we can, just to give ourselves some range capability. We've got the decent crossbows. So these ones are 14 resources. These ones down here are 14 resources again. Hoburg crossbows are only 4 resources. So they're very cost effective. I don't see much else to share here. As you can see, borders have kind of settled in. So there's a single remaining independent province. And we've got action developing. With lots of scouting, get a good grip on where Patala has its army. And we don't see, do we see the Devi of Darkness? We don't see the Devi of Darkness yet. Brahmin might be site searching. So just having a glance around Patala's area Just not a lot to be seen besides a good sized force sitting at home. So he could very likely have an army here, possibly here, for further expansion. And this army is just longbowmen. Wondering if that's... he bought the Merc. He did. So he bought one Merc. But he's got good gold. Is there anything else we're discussing? I do not think so. Well, gentlemen, ladies, and anybody else, it's about 15 minutes. It's going to be a fairly short episode, but I think I've covered what I want to cover. So have a great day. See you again soon. Bye-bye.